Hey y'all. So I decided to do a Q&A. Julian's gonna join in. Hopefully he doesn't bother the camera too much. We'll see how this goes. So I just have the questions on my tablet, so that's what I'm gonna be reading them off of. My sister brought it to my attention that you guys I've never done like an intro video. My first video was just, look, I'm pregnant. So we're gonna introduce myself. We're gonna introduce me. All right, number one. What is your middle name? Branae is my middle name. It's not a made-up name for YouTube or for social media. My name is actually Teanna. Middle name Branae. Last name is what it is. How old are you? I am 27 years old. And this goes into the next question. I turned 27 on May 28th. What is your zodiac sign? I'm a Gemini. Shout out to us, even though people be calling us crazy. That's okay. What is your lucky number? I don't know if I have a lucky number. My favorite number is 23, so I guess we can say that. Do you have any pets? I do not currently have any pets. I've had pets in the past, but as of now, I do not. Where are you from? Detroit, Michigan. I think I've mentioned that before. How tall are you? I like to, when I go to the doctor, they say 5'5" 3/4 or whatever, but I round up to just say 5'6" on a good day. How many pairs of shoes do you own? I don't know. I mean, compared to most girls, I don't think I have that many pairs of shoes. Let me see if I can count. Ooh, maybe 30 or 40. Maybe 30. I'll say 30. No, don't touch my water. You're going to spill it. Maybe 30. That's not a lot, though. Maybe 30. What was your last dream about? I can't remember. I do know this, though. I had crazy dreams when I was pregnant, but I can't tell you what my last dream was. What talents do you have? Thank you, Puka, for answering that question. I don't know. I don't think I have any, like, special talents. Favorite song of all time? Or are we talking categories? My favorite song, honestly, is I would say Mariah Carey Fantasy Remix. That might be my favorite song, period. Like, of all time. That may be my favorite song. But then I also love Mariah Carey Shake You Off, Shake It Off, whatever. Is it Shake You Off or Shake It Off? It might be Shake You Off. And then if we're talking, like, what are we talking? We're gonna say Mariah Carey Fantasy Remix. We're gonna leave it at that. Favorite movie. My favorite musical is Grease. My favorite romantic comedy is Sweet Home Alabama. My favorite, like, hood movie is Paid in Full. And then I think that's it. Julian's eyes look so creepy just sitting there. Should I angle down so y'all can see him more? That better? Now you're in the shot. Who would be your ideal partner? The partner that I have now. Do you want a church wedding? I do not. I do not want a church wedding. I mean, if you have one, this is not a dig to you. I absolutely hate church weddings. I've never cared for them. I don't know why. For me, I've always preferred outdoor ceremonies. I don't like church weddings. You just spilled milk all over my foot, Pooh. Have you ever been to the hospital? I've been to the hospital a lot. But we'll start with the most obvious reason to go to the hospital. This munchkin. I had a baby, so we'll go with that answer. Have you ever met any celebrities? Almost. Funny story. So, when I was growing up, in the area that I lived in at the time, I was like 13 years old, 14 years old. And my next door neighbor had like a fish fry, and Cat Williams came, and it was my mom's house, my mom's driveway, the neighbor's backyard. So she didn't have a privacy fence, privacy gate. It was just like that chain link fence, so we can see her backyard. And Cat Williams was just hanging out in the backyard at the fish fry, and my sisters and I were so scared. We were like peeking through the door, like, oh my god, because we loved him. Because this is when, was it the Pimp Chronicles that was popping in? Whichever stand up, I think he had on like the green jacket and the jeans. I think that's the stand up. I think it's Pimp Chronicles, but I can't remember if that's the name of it. I want to say that's the stand up that was hot at the time. So he's next door. My mom is outside with her little flip camera phone. I mean, you know, like some flip phones was a thing. Taking pictures of, like, my daughters love you so much. Oh my god, they're obsessed with you. Me and my sisters are in the side door, like, looking at him, like, oh my god, he's right there, he's right there. And he's like, tell him to come outside. I said hi to them. All of us clammed up, and none of us went outside. We just literally stood at the side door watching him in the backyard next door until he left. Missed our chance. But that's okay. But that was like an almost. We almost met him. Bad for showers. Baths are more relaxing, but I guess because I have a baby now, I'm a shower type of person. You okay? That light too bright. Is that better? But yeah, so I guess I'm a shower person. I don't know. I'm a bath person at heart. I'll say that. I'm a bath person at heart. My bad. I'm looking at something. And then, so that was just like real quick, like me based. But I wanted to do one for me, and then I wanted to do one of the more like mom questions too. So, how old were you when you had your first child? I was 26 when I had Julian. Well, I was turning 26. I had him right before, like 2 months before my 26th birthday. So I was 25 going on 26. What was the hardest thing about being pregnant for 9 months? Oh shoot, did you lose the question? No. The hardest thing about being pregnant for 9 months. I don't think it was, I think the pregnancy wasn't bad. It wasn't hard for all 9 months. The second trimester was a breeze. In the beginning, I was nauseous a lot, and I worked in customer service. So I worked in retail, to be more specific. So I was always nauseous at work, and having to smell a bunch of different people, I would like almost throw up a lot. But being pregnant for 9 months, once I got to the third trimester, I was huge and I was tired all the time and I was ready for it to be over. So I guess that. Can you think of any good things you enjoyed during those 9 months? Once Julian started to move, it drove me crazy, but I really enjoyed that because I looked forward to it after a while. Because it got to the point where I knew when he would be up. Like, he was up every night, or every morning, I should say, at like 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. he would be up. So I wouldn't be asleep at that time because I'll be waiting for him to wake up and start moving around. In your opinion, were all the things you heard about childbirth accurate or way off? To be honest, it hurt a lot, but I thought it would be worse. I did have an epidural, but I mean, before I got the epidural, because I could still feel stuff with the epidural. That's another misconception. I thought once I got the epidural, I wasn't going to feel a thing. That was a lie. Like, my butthole was still like, this might be TMI, but my butt was still pulsing like every time I had a contraction. Like, it still hurt, and I felt it in my butt. If you have a baby, maybe you understand what I'm trying to explain. It wasn't comfortable, but I did think before I got the epidural, I thought it was still bad. Like, I still like, okay, forget this natural stuff. I want an epidural, but I was anticipating it being much worse than what it was. Would you have handled childbirth differently if you could redo it? Not really. I think the only thing, and I told Andre this, next time I don't want anybody in the room with us. I want it to just be me and him. But it wasn't because I had a bad experience. It was just because now that once I got through it and was looking back on it, it was just so much energy in the room. If you get what I'm saying. It wasn't a bad thing. Like, it was our first child. It's all of our parents' first grandchild. So by default, we wanted both of our moms in there with us. And then, but it wasn't the actual labor. It was just the before and the after. Like, it was a lot of, oh, Teanna is so mad. Teanna laugh. It was like that type of thing. And I don't think it was a bad thing. I think it was everybody's first time in a situation, and it's funny, like, because nobody knows you have, even our moms who have kids, it's their first grandchild, so it was still a different type of experience. So it wasn't that. It just was, I don't know. Next go around, I told Andre only he and I would be in the delivery room. What would be your advice for someone who is about to have a baby? I'll be honest. When I was pregnant, there was a lot on social media about the mortality rate for Black women who after giving birth or during labor or whatever. I think the main thing that I would say is try not to focus on other people's experience. And when I say that, when I was pregnant, and especially when I got, Puka, where are you going? Especially when I got close to, did you pee? No. When I got close to the date, because Julian was due on the 27th, I think, came on the 21st. But when I got close to the date, it was like, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. And I worked so hard not to let that get to me, not to let that be my thoughts. So that's the main thing I would tell you. If you are about to give birth, if you are pregnant, if you are about to have a baby, do not let other people's idea of what labor and delivery was affect your thoughts. Go into the delivery with a clean mind and a clean spirit. Don't let other people's experience sit too heavy on you, because that is going to mess you up more than anything. Because once you get that in your head, you're going to be waiting for the bad to come. What has been the hardest thing about being a mom? The hardest thing for me personally has been my weight. this is the heaviest I've been in my adult life. So trying to find the time to work out, trying to find the dedication to work out, not being too hard on myself about the way I look, that's probably the hardest thing I've been having to go through, because I'm not understanding why it's not, the weight's not falling off the way I want it to, why it's fluctuating so much. That, I think, is probably the hardest thing that I've been going through, honestly. What has been the most rewarding thing about being a mom? The most rewarding thing is seeing Julian grow up. I remember when he was first born, he didn't have a personality. He looked like a big toe. He just stared at me and cried. And now he's like a full personality. Like, he laughs at jokes. He thinks he's funny. He laughs every time he sees me walk down steps. I don't know why I walk down the steps when he's in, but it makes him laugh. Now that he's walking and it's summertime, we take him outside sometimes when he wants to go, and he's like touching the concrete, like trying to figure out what this is, So seeing him develop and get a personality and try to learn things is very, very rewarding. Even though sometimes I get frustrated when I'm trying to like teach him his colors or teach him his letters, teach him his numbers, and it seems like he's not paying attention. I still think it's rewarding when he finally does catch on. Like, I could be watching a movie with dogs in it, and he has this book with a puppy on the cover. So if I'm watching a movie with a dog in it, sometimes he'll go get the puppy book and show it to me. So he understands the concept of stuff, whether he knows the words or not. You want the rest of your milk? It's only a little bit loud. What was the most surprising thing you discovered about being a mom? The most surprising thing, I breastfed, and I had no idea what mastitis was until, and how easy it was to get mastitis. I've had mastitis like 2 times, and I've had clogged ducts a bunch of times. I didn't understand, I didn't know what mastitis was. I didn't know that was a thing. Man, the work of the devil. And it's painful. What is the best memory you have involving your child? I don't know if I want to say that one. I try to keep my memories with Julian off the internet. I mean, I tell tidbits, but I try not to make his life the internet. Like, I don't want to share all of his big moments, like the first time he took his first steps and all that stuff. I don't want to have to share that with the world. I would rather keep that to myself. And he whipped my shirt up. That's okay. So, who knows? What's the worst thing your child has done so far? What's the worst thing you've done? I don't think you have a worst thing. You're not a bad baby. I don't think he has he hasn't done anything bad. He's a baby. Maybe if he was like 10, I would be able to say this is something he's done bad, but he's 1, so I don't want to sit here and say what the worst thing he's done is. He's learning. He's not he doesn't know right from wrong all the way yet, so I'm not gonna put that out there. Do you share any similarities with your child? Yes. So, you may not think so, but Julian looks more like his dad than he looks like me. But we do share some commonalities. If you look down the center of his forehead, you see a bright spot where his vein is showing. I don't know if you can see it on me, but I have that same line down my forehead. We have the same nostrils. He has my mouth shape. And then he was born with 12 fingers, just like I was. And one of his toes, which Andre always talks about, this particular toe, looks just like mine. But we're going to leave it at that. Personality-wise, he has a bit of an attitude. He gets that from me. I'm not ashamed to say it. It's fine. Where would you like your child to be in 10 years? Happy and healthy. What is something that having a child has taught you? I don't think he's taught me anything really. I mean, I work more on me time. I think that's a big thing. I think before Julian, I was always like, oh, somebody wants me to go here with them, I have to go. Somebody wants me to talk on the phone, I have to talk on the phone. Like, it was that type of thing. But now, since I had him, because I don't get that much time to sit and reflect and be by myself, even if it's just me sitting and watching a movie, if I have that time, I take that time. I'm not answering your phone call. I'm not going to the store with you. I'm not FaceTiming or video calling you so you can see Julian. I'm not doing any of that stuff. Did you imagine that you'd be a mom at the age that you became a mom? To be honest, I thought I'd have like, back in when I was younger and I didn't have a concept of time, I thought I would have my first child. I thought I'd be married at like 21, have a baby at like 23. So by the time I was 26-ish, when Julian was around, I was, in my mind, was supposed to have like 2 or 3 kids by now. And now that I'm this age and I have Julian, it's like this one is a lot, but how have you changed as a person since becoming a mom? I don't think I think I'm about the same. My patience level for outsiders has dwindled. My patience level for Julian obviously is exponential. I have a lot of patience with him. But for other people, I don't really have the patience. But I think that's pretty much it. I just want to do a little quick Q&A just so you all can get to know me as an individual and as Julian's mama. That was pretty much it. I don't have anything else I wanted to talk to y'all about. Okay. Yeah, that's it. You want to say bye-bye? Or you don't want to say bye-bye? Well, I'll say bye-bye. So, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will talk to y'all in the next one.